In the waning days of the 9th century, as the winds of change swept across Norway, a powerful chieftain named Kettle Flatnose found himself at odds with the rising tide of unification. Harald Fairhair, the ambitious king, sought to consolidate his power, demanding allegiance from the once independent chieftains. Kettle, a man of proud lineage and unyielding spirit, refused to bend the knee. With a heavy heart but unwavering resolve, Kettle gathered his family, his loyal followers, and their worldly possessions. They boarded their sturdy longships, their sails billowing in the North Atlantic breeze, and set course for a new land, a land of untamed beauty and untold promise, Iceland. Among Kettle's kin was his son Bjorn the Easterner, a man of quiet strength and shrewd judgment. Upon reaching the shores of Iceland, Bjorn claimed a fertile stretch of land, establishing his homestead at Bjarnarhofn. Here, amidst the rugged landscape, he raised a family, his sons and daughters inheriting his resilience and resourcefulness. One of Bjorn's sons, Thorolf Most-Beard, possessed a restless spirit and a thirst for adventure. He journeyed to Norway, where he befriended the very king his father had defied, Harald Fairhair. Thorolf's charisma and loyalty earned him the king's favor, and upon his return to Iceland he carried a precious gift, a high-seat pillar carved from sacred wood and imbued with the spirit of Thor, the god of thunder. Thorolf established his own settlement at Thorsnes, erecting the high-seat pillar as a symbol of his authority and connection to the ancient gods. But the pillar, a potent conduit of divine power, also became a source of discord. Thorolf's neighbors, envious of his newfound prestige and wary of the pillar's influence, grew resentful. Among them was Ulfar the Champion, a man of immense strength and fierce pride. Ulfar, believing Thorolf had encroached upon his territory, challenged him to a duel. The clash was brutal, a testament to the raw power and unwavering resolve of both men. In the end, Thorolf fell, his lifeblood staining the Icelandic soil. Bjorn, devastated by the loss of his son, vowed revenge. The feud between the two families escalated, threatening to tear the fledgling community apart. Bloodshed begot bloodshed, the cycle of violence perpetuating itself. But amidst the chaos, wiser heads prevailed. Through negotiation and compromise, the feud was finally settled, the wounds of the past slowly beginning to heal. Though the feud seemed settled, Thorolf's death left a lasting scar on Bjorn's family, with grief and vengeance simmering quietly among his descendants. As the years passed, a new generation rose to prominence. Snorri Godi, a descendant of Thorolf, inherited his ancestors' cunning and ambition. He quickly established himself as a powerful chieftain, his influence extending far beyond his own lands. Snorri, a man of vision, recognized the shifting tides of the world. Christianity, the new faith sweeping across Europe, had reached Iceland's shores. Snorri, ever pragmatic, embraced the new religion, seeing in it a chance to unify the fractious Icelandic people and strengthen his own position. But the transition was not without its challenges. The old Norse beliefs, deeply ingrained in the culture, resisted the encroachment of the Christian god. Snorri, with his characteristic shrewdness, navigated these tensions, allowing for a gradual blending of the old and the new. He built churches alongside the ancient pagan temples, offering a place for both faiths to coexist. Yet even as Christianity gained ground, the echoes of the old gods lingered. The high-seat pillar at Thorsnes, once a symbol of Thorolf's power, became a source of unsettling events. Strange noises emanated from the hall, objects moved of their own accord, and the inhabitants were plagued by nightmares. Thorgunna, a woman known for her knowledge of herbs and ancient lore, was accused of witchcraft, blamed for the disturbances. Snorri, ever the pragmatist, investigated the matter. He discovered that the spirit of Thorolf, trapped within the pillar, was the source of the unrest. With a mixture of respect for tradition and a newfound Christian faith, Snorri performed a ritual to appease the restless spirit, finally bringing peace to Thorsnes. Snorri Godi's influence continued to grow, his wisdom and leadership earning him the respect of his peers. He became the law speaker of the Althing, the Icelandic parliament, where he presided over disputes and ensured the smooth functioning of the legal system. His decisions were fair and just, his knowledge of the law unparalleled. But even as Snorri's power grew, the region remained a hotbed of feuds and conflicts. Families clashed over land, resources, and matters of honor. The saga recounts numerous tales of revenge and retribution, each act of violence echoing through the generations. Snorri, with his diplomatic skills and legal acumen, often found himself mediating these disputes, seeking to maintain a fragile peace in a land where passions ran deep. One such feud erupted between the families of Thorbrand and Arnkel. Thorbrand, a proud and hot-headed man, accused Arnkel of stealing his livestock. Arnkel, equally stubborn, denied the charges. The dispute escalated, with both sides gathering their supporters and preparing for battle. Snorri, sensing the potential for widespread bloodshed, intervened. He summoned both parties to the Althing, where he carefully listened to their grievances. With his profound understanding of the law and his ability to discern the truth, Snorri rendered a judgment that satisfied both sides, averting a bloody conflict. Snorri's role as mediator strengthened his authority, marking him as a pivotal figure among the island's chieftains. His wisdom and impartiality earned him the gratitude of the community, further solidifying his position as a respected leader. Amidst the ongoing feuds and political maneuvering, the saga also delves into the realm of the supernatural. Ghosts, spirits, and the lingering presence of the Old Norse gods continued to haunt the land, even as Christianity gained a foothold. As the 11th century dawned, Iceland stood at a crossroads. Christianity had taken root, but the old ways still held sway. Feuds and conflicts continued to simmer beneath the surface, threatening to erupt at any moment. And Snorri Godi, the man who had guided Iceland through this turbulent period, remained a central figure, his influence shaping the destiny of the land and its people. The winds of change continued to blow across Iceland, carrying with them whispers of ambition, treachery, and a thirst for vengeance that would soon engulf the land in flames. At the heart of this gathering storm stood Njal Thorgeirsson, a wise and respected chieftain known for his unwavering sense of justice and his prophetic dreams. Njal's sons, however, were a different breed, proud, impulsive, and quick to anger. Their fiery tempers and reckless actions would set in motion a chain of events that would shake Iceland to its core. The catalyst for this tragedy was a seemingly minor dispute between Njal's sons and their foster brother, Höskuldur Thorgeirsson. A misunderstanding over a horse escalated into a bitter feud, fueled by pride and wounded egos. Höskuld, feeling betrayed and humiliated, sought revenge. He enlisted the help of Flosi Thordarson, a powerful chieftain with a reputation for ruthlessness. Together, they hatched a plan to attack Njal's homestead at Bergtorsknoll. Under the cover of darkness, they surrounded the house, their torches casting an ominous glow. Njal, aware of the impending danger, gathered his family inside. He urged them to remain calm and trust in the protection of the law. But Flosi and his men were beyond reason. They set fire to the house, trapping Njal, his wife Bergthora, their sons, and their loyal followers within. The flames roared, consuming the homestead and all those inside. Njal, facing his fiery demise, uttered a final prophecy. "I foresee that this deed will lead to great bloodshed and strife. The flames of Bergtorsknoll will ignite a conflagration that will consume many lives." His words proved tragically prophetic. The burning of Njal and his family sent shockwaves through Iceland. The act violated the sacred laws of hospitality and ignited a cycle of revenge that would last for years. News of the violent attack spread across Iceland, drawing even distant chieftains like Snorri Godi into the fold, as leaders felt the impact of this affront to Iceland's laws and customs. Njal's surviving kinsmen, led by his son-in-law Kari Solmundarson, vowed to avenge their loved ones. They pursued Flosi and his allies relentlessly, leaving a trail of blood in their wake. Snorri Godi, witnessing the escalating violence, despaired. He knew that the only way to end the bloodshed was to bring the feuding parties to justice. He convened the Althing, where he presided over a series of dramatic legal proceedings. The courtroom became a battleground of words as accusations and counter-accusations flew. Snorri, with his unwavering commitment to justice, meticulously weighed the evidence and rendered his verdicts. In the end, Flosi and his accomplices were found guilty of the burning and sentenced to outlawry. They fled Iceland, seeking refuge in Norway and other distant lands. But even in exile, the specter of their crimes haunted them. Many met their ends in violent confrontations, their lives consumed by the flames they had ignited. Kari Solmundarson, having fulfilled his vow of vengeance, eventually returned to Iceland. He sought reconciliation with Flosi, offering him a chance to return from exile and rebuild his life. Flosi, weary of his wandering and burdened by guilt, accepted Kari's offer. The two former enemies, once locked in a deadly embrace, now stood side by side, their shared experiences forging a bond of understanding. With the cycle of revenge finally broken, Iceland began to heal. The wounds of the past remained, but a fragile peace settled over the land. Snorri Godi, his leadership tested but unbroken, continued to guide his people, his wisdom and compassion a beacon of hope in a world still grappling with the darkness of human nature. The Eyrbyggja Saga, a tapestry woven from the threads of ambition, conflict, and resilience, serves as a cautionary tale about the destructive power of vengeance and the enduring strength of the human spirit. It reminds us that even in the face of tragedy and loss, hope can flicker, and reconciliation is possible. The saga's characters, flawed and complex, mirror our own struggles and triumphs, inviting us to reflect on the choices we make and the legacies we leave behind.